Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to another Mattel figure review. I say this a lot at the moment, but I am really excited about this figure. I genuinely am, because for me there are a few kind of key moments in the history of wrestling, and one of those is what we're about to talk about, WrestleMania 6. Now, WrestleMania 1, Hulk Hogan was in the main event and he won. WrestleMania 2, Hulk Hogan was in the main event and he won. WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan was in the main event and he won. WrestleMania 4, he wasn't in the main event, but he was still probably in the biggest match on that card, which was a rematch against Andre the Giant, and ended up being like a draw, and there was a lot of controversy around it, and basically that was how they managed to get the belt onto the Macho Man, because they knew that if they didn't do some kind of screwy thing with Hulk Hogan, then people just wouldn't accept the Macho Man as the champion. So Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan had this double draw thing. Oh, it's messy, yeah. But anyway, he's still in the biggest match. WrestleMania 5 is in the main event and he wins. WrestleMania 6 is in the main event. He doesn't win. He loses clean. This isn't by any means the death of Hulkamania. That doesn't come for another 3-4 years, but this is the first kind of major clean loss that Hulk Hogan suffers, and he suffers it at the hands of this man, the Ultimate Warrior. And this is the attire, this is what he looked like, what he was wearing when he finally defeats Hulkamania clean. It's one of those moments, it really is. For me, growing up, you were either a Hulk Hogan fan or you were an Ultimate Warrior fan, and I was an Ultimate Warrior fan. I had nothing against Hulk Hogan, but he was very American and very Americana, and, you know, fight for the right of the people and eat your vitamins, and he was this good guy. I don't have a problem with that, but he was going up against an absolute lunatic, and that spoke to me more. Warriors! It's like, and he'd go on his promos, you just wouldn't have a clue what he was on about. He'd bolt down to the ring 100 miles an hour, shake it on the ropes, and it's just like, it's passion, and it was just intriguing. And yeah, for me, a guy coming out going, say your prayers and eat your vitamins, it just couldn't match what the Warrior was delivering. What I'll do is I'll put a link into my top 5 wrestlers of all time, because Warrior features on that, and I think I go into a little bit more detail. And also I'll put a link to one of the previous Warrior reviews that I've done, because I could sit here and talk to you for ages about the Ultimate Warrior, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about the figure, and I'm just going to talk about WrestleMania 6, because this is where this figure comes from. So let's have a look at the figure actually, because there's some changes. This is the same as the Legends Series 6 Ultimate Warrior, but the difference is that Legends Series 6 came with the belt on a yellow strap, which wasn't correct. The title belt wasn't on a yellow strap at WrestleMania 6. It was on the black strap, so they have kind of rectified that. It's a real shame, because I think there is an occasion where the Warrior does have the title on a yellow strap, but yeah, certainly wasn't WrestleMania 6. It was the Intercontinental title that was on the yellow strap. I think the yellow strap at WrestleMania 6. I mean, I know these are just minuscule details, but still, they matter. And to tell the truth, I'm a little bit gutted that they haven't just kept it the same, because I already have the Winged Eagle, which is my favourite belt. I already have this on a black strap, but I don't have the yellow strap one, so now I think I'm going to have to buy this again, but the Legends one, so that I can get the title on the yellow strap. Oh. Anyway, what they have done as well is they've made the title belt correct, if you will. But then they've gone and actually changed the order of his wrist tape. Really bizarre. They've done it because they want to make these reissues just slightly different to the original ones, because if you've gone out and you've bought an original one, you're not going to be best pleased, are you, now that they're re-releasing them? And I totally understand that. I totally get that. But I don't know why they've changed the order of the wrist tape, because now they've put it in the wrong order. Looking at pictures from WrestleMania 6, comparing them to the Legends Series 6 Ultimate Warrior, the wrist tape was in the correct order, and now they've gone and changed it into the incorrect order. They have done something smart though. The logo on his chest, they've made that bigger for this figure. And I think it looks a lot better. If you compare the two figures side by side, gotta be honest, I think I prefer this one. It's just frustrating that I need that belt on the yellow strap. So let's have a look at the packaging anyway. Here's the front of the box with the Warrior in there. Absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to get it out. I think the detail on it looks insane. There's a fantastic picture of the Warrior. It's the same picture as the one that's on the side. Details on the Warrior: he was 6'2", 280 £. His signature move was the press slam. He's from parts unknown. Career highlights: WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, and 2014 WWE Hall of Fame inductee. I can tell you, just before we completely move on to the figure, that the Warrior held the title up until Royal Rumble in 1991, and he was in a match against Sergeant Slaughter, and unfortunately he ends up losing that match. He loses it because the Macho King comes down and smacks him over the head with his scepter. That then leads up to a retirement match between the Ultimate Warrior and the Macho King. Again, I do talk about that in the Macho King figure review, which I can also put in the descriptions. It's great how all these figures are coming out and they're all kind of linked. It's really exciting. So, boom. Done. This belt is my favourite belt ever, the Winged Eagle. Absolutely love it. This is one of the main reasons why I got into collecting figures, Mattel figures, was because of the belts and the detail that's on these belts. I do have this already. One came with the Stone Cold Defining Moments, which was released this year. But still, I don't know if you can have enough. Right, let's have a look at the Warrior figure. So, I absolutely love this. I really do. I said at the start that it's special, and I absolutely meant it, because for me that match was iconic. It's a key match in the history of wrestling, and it's one of the matches that got me to fall in love with wrestling as well. So you've got that wonderful, wonderful chest kind of painting there with his logo. Kind of a very Finn Balor, if you will, because I can't recall any wrestlers that were kind of doing body paint in the early 90s, late 80s. But yeah, the Warrior obviously here did. There was quite a few that had like face paint, but he went that next stage. And you've got the great body type as well. I mean, the Warrior was one of the most stacked wrestlers on the roster. Absolutely brilliant. The detail on the face, I think, is insane. I say that because there's a little Warrior logo just on the side of his face paint, which I think is just it's incredible detail. It's just down on the cheek down here. All the colours are correct. As I said, the wrist tape, though, it's not in the correct order. I mean, I don't know if they were wrist tapes or if they were wristbands. I know that it does change slightly as the match progresses, so maybe there was a point in the match where this was correct, but as I said, on the pictures that I've seen, the Legends, the original release of this, is more accurate. On the attire, you've got lots of little Warrior logos just on the front, and then a big Warrior logo on the back, which looks really cool. You got the orange tassels going over his green boots. You got the Warrior logos just on the top of the boots there. And yeah, cool face scan, brilliant face scan, shouting Warrior with his mouth open, just looks really cool. Hair is really accurate. I don't know how to score this, because it's pretty much faultless. I don't know why they've changed the wrist tape, and I'm really disappointed that they've changed this to the black rather than just keep it the yellow. But again, if you bought that original release, I understand you're going to want it to be a little bit different. Can I mark it down for those things? No, I can't. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a Ty Dillinger. That is the colour of the belt. That's what it looked like. If they've moved the wrist tape colours around, Jesus, I'm not that petty to mark it down for those kind of things. I think this is just phenomenal. This really captures a moment, an important moment, and is really a must for any collection. Who doesn't like the Warrior? Yeah, really, really cool. Awesome, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below. Give a video a like if you liked it. Really would appreciate that. And also hit the subscribe if you haven't already. That's just lets me know that I'm on the right path with things. I think that's everything from me. So from me and from the Ultimate Warrior, hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.